Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our LinkedIn workshop with Chaim Shapiro. I'll be introducing Mr. Shapiro formally in just a moment, but first, just a little bit of housekeeping. First of all, as you're aware, this session is being recorded, so if you would like a copy of the recorded session after this is over, please send us a message at the Career Center and we can make sure that you get that. As a courtesy, please keep your microphones muted unless you have a question or unless you're engaging in dialogue with the presenter, just as a courtesy for everyone else that's in the session today. Of course, you can use the chat feature at any time throughout the presentation. And without further ado, let me go ahead and introduce our presenter today. Chaim Shapiro is the director of the Office for Student Success at Touro University. He's a freelance writer, public speaker, LinkedIn consultant, and a board-certified coach specializing in career coaching. Chaim earned a master's degree in college student personnel from Loyola University Chicago and also studied in the Institutional Leadership and Policy Studies PhD program at the University of California, Riverside Graduate School of Education. He has more than 18 years of experience working in college administration, and I'm sure he will let you know how you can link up with him on LinkedIn as he's going through the presentation today.
Thank you so much for the kind introduction. I'm very happy to be back. I was actually handing out flyers for our career fair on my campus, and I realized the first time I started handing out flyers on campus was actually 1993, 30 years ago. So I've been handing out flyers on campus for 30 years, which is an accomplishment of sorts. But anyway, it is interesting because I have been doing this a long time, and I really do love working with college students. But the focus today is really to make sure that you're able to maximize your LinkedIn profile. So we're going to go through the LinkedIn profile top to bottom and make sure that you have all the information you need in order to maximize your profile so that you get noticed and you're promoting your brand in the best possible way. Now, like she mentioned before, I do a live demo, so I'm going to be showing you the functionality of LinkedIn. What I much prefer is if people have questions, either unmute your microphone and ask me the questions, or every 4 or 5 minutes, I'm going to stop and ask for questions. The real goal of this is really to make it as interactive as possible to answer your questions throughout. Plus, there will be a few times throughout that I'm going to put you on the spot and ask you a couple of questions. So please feel free to answer those questions either in the chat or preferably on your microphone, because I do think that's one of the better ways that makes it a little bit easier for people to learn. If we do have some time after we finish the profile, we'll start and look at job searching, and we'll look at posting and effective tagging in order to make sure that you're engaging with the people who are most valuable to you on LinkedIn. So first place to start is to go into the edit mode of your LinkedIn profile. Now, there are two ways to do this. The easiest way is to click on your picture right over here, and that takes you right into the edit mode of your profile. But what I want to get you to become more accustomed to doing is clicking the little me button up over here, then click view profile, which gets you to the same place. But the reason you do that is there's a lot more functionality on this toolbar over here, settings and privacy and other things. So I think it makes sense to do it there. In case you have any other things you need to do at some point, you have the opportunity to do it. So this is the edit mode of your profile. I just had a client the other day who was very concerned that everybody who had access to their profile had access to this. That's obviously not the case. This is password protected, and only the person who has access to their profile with their password can make these kinds of changes. So what you need to do in order to create a winning LinkedIn profile. So there are a few things I want to start with. What I would start with is what I call the LinkedIn triumvirate. The LinkedIn triumvirate are the three most important parts of your LinkedIn profile, because wherever you show up on LinkedIn, whether they're in emails, messages, contacts, connections, these three things show up with you. Those three things are your photo, your name, and this right here, your LinkedIn headline. You want to make sure that you maximize each of those. So the first step I'm going to go through here is to show you how to maximize each of these. First is the photo. If I click on my photo right over here, you can see I have the opportunity to view or edit my profile photo. Now, when I did this 3 or 4 years ago, the kinds of pictures that were popular were off-center with darker color backgrounds. I need to get a new one because white backgrounds are back in and more centered photos, so I do need to change that. But if I wanted to, I could actually go in here and change that. I can actually center this, probably a little bit off here, but move it around. I could zoom, I can crop, I can use filters to get this exactly the way that I want in order to maximize. There we go. There's more centered that way, the way that I want it to be. If I click save photo, that'll be my new photo that I use on LinkedIn. The most common question I get about this is what kind of clothes should I be wearing when I'm taking this photo? And I think the answer to that question really depends on what kind of job you're looking for. If you're looking for a job in a place where if you went to a networking event where the senior leadership, the C-suite was there, what clothes would you be wearing at that networking event? If the answer to that is formal dress, like a suit and a tie, that's what you want to be wearing. If you're applying to Google or Meta or Facebook, and it might be more casual clothes, that's what I would be wearing in that profile photo. So that's how you set your profile photo. You want to make sure that it's a positive photo of you. You don't want to have fractured photos where you have a disembodied arm where you're wrapped around somebody else at a wedding. It is worthwhile to take a private photo. If you can't actually do that, you can always go with a white background and take that photo. Now, next, what I want to get into is the rest of the LinkedIn triumvirate, and that includes your name and this LinkedIn headline. So I'm going to click this little pencil right over here, and this gives me the ability to get in here and change my name. Now, this might sound simple because my name is Chaim Shapiro. What else could you have? But there are a lot of people who want to put in their degree or some of their qualifications after their name. So if I would put in Chaim Shapiro, Master's in Education, for example, or board certified coach, people do that, but I don't recommend it because LinkedIn could give you the fields to do that, but they do not. Plus, once you become an advanced user, when people are attacking you, if you put other things besides your name in these fields, what tends to happen is it makes makes it more difficult for people to be able to tag you. So I just recommend having your name and first name and last name without all those extra things in there. Additional name is another great thing here. Now, this could be a former name if you have a maiden name because you're married, but I work with a lot of Orthodox Jewish students who might have a name like Howard, but their Jewish name, the Hebrew name, is Yitzchak that they use with their friends. They want to make sure that their friends are able to access them. So what they actually put in here, an additional name is Yitzchak. So if somebody does a search and finds Howard Shapiro, they'll actually see the name Yitzchak as well and be able to connect with that. Now, right over here also is an audio recording. We'll get to that in just a minute, but I want to focus on the LinkedIn headline. The LinkedIn headline is your LinkedIn elevator pitch. This is the most important and valuable real estate in my mind in all of social media because if I see your name and I see your photo and nothing else about you, what do I need to know that makes you the kind of person that I want to hire for whatever position it is you're looking for? So you really want to give them information that shows who you are and what you can do for them. So just saying that you're a student at UTA is a great thing. That doesn't sell me. If you tell me that you're a aspiring accounting professional with experience in QuickBooks and uh, payroll and state and local tax, that's a little bit more information. So I think you want to focus on things that really, really sell you in a positive way. So when somebody sees your profile, they see, oh, I know exactly what it is this person can do for me. In this case, you can see that I provide all these different services to folks. Okay. Just also, you see here, I don't know if you can hear this. There's a name pronunciation tool here. If I click this, tell me if you can hear that. Could you guys hear that? Not sure if you could or you couldn't, but basically it was me pronouncing my first name. This is something you have access to on the mobile app, and it's an opportunity for you to be able to say your name if you have a name like Chaim to help people pronounce it. I do think it's a great little tool to add there. I do recommend that people do not utilize this to put a little pitch in there as well. This is really for people who have names like, well, Chaim, and I don't think it's advisable to put the pitch in there. Just use your name and use your name effectively, and then after that, you can do your selling and your pitch in your LinkedIn headline. Any questions about the photo, the headline, or your name? So if there are no questions, I want to move on to this right over here. This is your LinkedIn background image. Now, this is very, very important because if you don't have anything here, it's going to be of a blank screen, and that's really a waste of space. Now, what I advise people do is utilize this as your opportunity to help promote your brand in terms of what you are. So as a person who claims he can give excellent LinkedIn workshops, well, here I am giving a LinkedIn workshop. These folks staring in at me sells me better than any other way I could possibly sell myself because it shows people are interested in what I'm doing. You click the little pencil right over here. You can upload a photo, change a photo, delete, filter, change it, get it exactly the way that you want. But the most common question I get is how do I make something personalized for me that shows I'm an expert in aerospace technology or something like that? So one of the great new tools, and tell me if you can see this, is a website called Canva. Can you guys see that?
Yes, we
Anybody?
can see it.
Yes, good,
Mhm.
great. So if you put in LinkedIn banner, you should be able to see a bunch of different kinds over here. If you click on these, you can actually create the design and personalize it. And then after you personalize it and go back to your LinkedIn profile, you can upload that and make sure that it actually represents your brand and what you're trying to say, and that it fits into this wider picture. Just be aware this is a wider picture. Also be aware that your photo is going to be over here in the bottom corner. So you don't want to block anything really, really important with this thing over here. So you want to make sure that you optimize that photo. Canva is a great tool for being able to utilize that and make sure that you're promoting exactly what it is that you want to promote. A couple other quick things I want to show you here in the main part of your photo, the main part of your board is right over here. First of all, you can choose your industry. So I chose education. And I'll tell you, LinkedIn is actually increasing the number of opportunities here. They are limited, and you are limited to what they put over here. But LinkedIn actually says they're going from 140 to about 400 of these. So as time goes on, these are going to be much more closely affiliated and related to what it is going to be your actual profession. I would say for now to get as close as you can to it. Okay. And then make sure to put that in there and keep that in there. And I also don't want to erase what I had there. So I'm going to put higher education back. Always make sure to sync it with that. That way, that'll make sure it'll show up in searches that people are doing. Now, another thing that's available here is the opportunity to put your pronouns on your profile if you wish. LinkedIn gives you a few choices. You can choose she, her, he, him, they, them. So let me just show you. If I click he, him, and I click the save button, and I come out to this page, you see that? It added it right after my name right over here, which makes it easy for people to see. But there's a little trick that people have been doing, and I want to get your thoughts. So I'm going to put you on the spot for the first time here. There's some people who thought this is a great opportunity to really sell yourself to your audience. If I put in custom, it gives me a field to put in custom pronouns. What happens if I do this? I put in LinkedIn expert, click save, and I go out over here, and guess what? It just sold me over this. What do we think about that, guys? Good idea, bad idea? Anybody? Bueller?
Don't be shy, guys. Don't be shy.
What do you guys think? Well, I'll tell you, my perspective. Yeah, go ahead, somebody.
I was just gonna say I think it's a bad idea.
I agree with you 100%. Tell me why you think it's a bad idea.
I would assume just because you already have your details in the headline, and so I would think it's just unnecessary to put it there.
I think it is unnecessary, and also it takes away from the power of the pronouns for people who actually need it. And for people that are a part of a marginalized community, you're taking away some of the advantages they have from having those particular pronouns. So I definitely recommend very strongly against doing that. I understand why people do it, but I don't think it's a good idea. Okay, to move on to the next thing here, you want to make sure you get your profile URL that's customized to you. You see mine here, linkedin.com/Chaim Shapiro. Usually this defaults to your name and some letters and some other things. If you go to edit public profile and URL over here, and then over here, there'll be a little pencil. You click on this, and you should be able to change this and get rid of all those extra numbers and letters and make it linkedin.com/in and your first name, last name. Now, with a name like Chaim Shapiro, that wasn't difficult to do because there aren't that many Chaim Shapiros out there. For other folks who have more common names, you may need to put a dash between your name, underscore. This could be a place to put your degree. So if you have a master's in education, MS, CPA, those kinds of things. And once you click the save button, that's going to become your new LinkedIn URL. The old one will no longer work, but it is great because it gives you the opportunity to utilize that as the signature line on your email. And I think it is very professional once you have a professional LinkedIn account to do that. Okay. So we're going to go back here to this main page. By the way, if you do that, always refresh the page, or otherwise potentially you might lose some of the things that you changed after that. So I refresh the page. Now we can go into contact information. And after contact information, I'm going to pause again for questions. You have to hover over this, click on contact information, then click this little pencil, and this will give you the ability to change things. Now, look, always important to make sure you have a current email. This is a change on LinkedIn that I really like. If I click this right now, it takes me to the settings where my emails are listed, and I can make sure they're accurate and change or remove or make a particular one my primary email. So I think it's important to make sure you have the correct email address up here. I've seen people have email addresses from 2 or 3 jobs ago, which is not a good idea. This is how you make sure that you get rid of the old ones, and also make sure that my personal email, which is the one that I prefer, is the primary email. But if I get connection requests through my work email, those work as well because I have those on my accounts. The one that shows up is the primary one. Now, I also have my phone number on here, and I get questions from people all the time. Don't I get spam calls? And I say, yes, I get spam calls, but I get spam calls all the time. So to me, it's much more important to get those couple people that might come in that I might miss otherwise. And I'll deal with the spam because I'm dealing with the spam anyway. So I'd rather have that up there, but that's a personal choice. I also have my birth date, not year, up here that my connections can see, because a lot of people send me birthday messages. That could be a great engagement tool. I do not put the birth year because that's a lot of times a security question people use for different websites. And you have the opportunity also to add your own personal website. So if you have a personal website, you have your resume, and here are the choices here. Company, blog, portfolio, you can always add those there, and then it'll show up on your profile. And it makes it very easy for people to be able to find you that way and find your website that way. And also, you see here, I do also have my Twitter account linked to this. The reason I do that is because I think it's important for people to be able to engage me on other forums outside of just what we have here on LinkedIn. Sometimes if I was talking about the Super Bowl a couple of weeks ago, that could be a better engagement opportunity for somebody than some of the professional stuff that I've been utilizing regularly on my LinkedIn profile. Okay, so we've been very quiet so far. Let's get some questions in here. Also means I need a drink break, but questions, please.
We did have one question. It's from a bit back, but
Sure.
how much detail should I put on a headline?
So I think the detail that's important is what you want to put. You don't, again, the fact that you're a student at UTA is important. What sells you? If I was a person looking to hire you as an intern or a full-time employee or a service provider, what can you tell me that gives me confidence that you'll be able to do that? So when I work with business people, I tell them to make sure that this addresses the pain points of the people that are looking. What could you solve for people? But it could be anything along the lines here that would sell you to an employer, and that's going to change depending on what kind of job you're looking for. Plus, I do believe it's a good idea to make a little bit of a distinction between instead of big blocks of text, to put lines or dashes or something in order to separate different ideas, because big blocks of text are very, very hard for people to read. So I think this way is a little bit of a better way of doing that. It's a great question. Thank you. Any other questions? Okay, let me get into the controversial one here, is the open to work frame that people put on their profile. A lot of people do this, and the way you do this is you go down here to this little pencil, click on this, and you'll see here that I'm open, and this is available to people who are using the paid LinkedIn Recruiter platform. It's a paid platform where people who are looking for employers can actually look and see. And I put in job titles, workplaces, and different things in terms of what I'm interested in. Now, I'm very, very happy at Turo. I've been at Turo for 15 and a half years, but if somebody offered me $1 million a year to come, I would definitely consider that. So that's why I keep that open. Now, to put the open to work frame on your profile, you need to change this from recruiters only to all LinkedIn members. Now, look what happens if I click save. And I'm going to call out of this. You see that? It added this frame to my profile. Now, I cannot get rid of this as long as it's open to all LinkedIn users. So I think there's a little bit of a debate amongst LinkedIn experts, about a 60-40 split. I happen to be on the 40% side, where I think and advise against people using the open to work frame. And the reason is because you don't want your open to work status to be the definition of who you are. When people see you on LinkedIn and social media that make quick impressions, you don't want the first impression to be making you is, oh, this person is looking for work, as opposed to all this other great stuff about me. But there are definitely a lot of people who disagree with that. I think it is worthwhile because it does open it up to a broader group of people, not just the folks who are using the LinkedIn Recruiter platform. And if I want to get rid of the LinkedIn open to work, I just need to go back over here, change this back to recruiters, which is my default, click save. And then when I refresh this page, hopefully, the open to work will be gone again, and then just the recruiters will be able to see those things. Does that make sense? Any other questions?
We did get another question in the
Yes,
chat.
please. Mm-hmm.
Is it okay to put actively looking for jobs on the headline?
Great question. So I think it makes sense if you could do that, especially towards the end. I wouldn't do it at the beginning. In other words, focus on who you are and what you're actually able to offer first. And a little bit later on, like over here, is where you could actually add that, because I don't want it to be the definition of you. Sell me on something first. And after you sell me on something, that's the opportunity to go and add that at the end. Again, there are some people who would disagree even with that. That's a little too far even for me. because I do think obviously when you're looking for a job, and I was out of a job once for 5 months, I get it. So you want to put it there. You just don't want it to be the definition of who you are. Great question. Okay. I'm going to keep moving my way down the profile. Creator mode usually is something that I would advise students to have off. If you have questions about creator mode and what it does and what the pros and cons to that is, please let me know afterwards and we can talk about that. But usually that's something I would keep off for people who are in students. Okay, this is the featured section. Now, if you don't currently have this on LinkedIn, go to add profile section. I believe it's under recommended, add featured, and that's going to add it to your profile. It's a very important thing to have because people are very, very visual nowadays. You want to make sure that you add visual content to your profile. Now, again, as a person who claims that he can give excellent LinkedIn workshops and webinars, nothing sells me better than a person coming down here and clicking on this and actually getting a YouTube video of me giving a LinkedIn webinar. So this is a great way to sell yourself. And it doesn't have to be videos. It could be presentations. It could be PowerPoints. It could be slide decks. You see here, I actually have my resume on here. So if somebody wants to share my actual resume with somebody who is not that conversant in LinkedIn, they can download it directly onto their desktop as well. So that's down there as well. And what I usually advise folks is put your best stuff first. Most people are only going to see the 3 over here. And very, very few folks are going to go and choose and look at all this other stuff over here. So you want to make sure you have your best stuff first. You add stuff with this little button over here. And usually because I'm not looking for a job and I just have this here, you go to the reorder button and I'm just going to move this resume a little bit further down and that's going to change it over here. So the top 3 again are the 3 that I really want to focus on. So these could be posts, these could be projections, these could be speeches, anything like that. But I do think it is a very, very important thing because people are exceptionally visual nowadays. So you want to make sure you're taking advantage of that. Any questions about the featured section? How to add it, where to find it? If not, I'll keep moving my way down the profile here.
We do have a question, but it's
yes,
not
please.
about that.
Okay.
And you may be covering this in a moment, but what's the best way to reach out to employers and recruiters if I'm looking for an internship or a full-time role as an international student?
So that's a great question. Let's get back to that a little bit later if I can. Hopefully, if we have time at the end, usually it's more of a profile session, but if we have time at the end, I'm going to actually go into how to look for jobs. And I think just the quick answer is the best way to do it is start engaging people as opposed to just sending them a message that I'm looking for a job. I was showing Nikki this a little bit before, but here's a person who was engaging me earlier today. He commented on my post and he tagged me, which is a great way to build a relationship with somebody before you need to make that ask. So that's the quick answer to the question. If we have time to do it a little bit later, we'll get into a more direct answer. But I think engaging people before you send them connection requests is always a better way to make sure that they're more likely to accept that. Does that make sense? All righty. So we're going to move on here to the about section. This used to be called a summary. Now, over here, we want to make sure you can put more of a narrative as to who you are than you were able to put in that headline up above. So there's more room here to put more things in here. Now, just be aware that this is the most important part of your about section. Why? Because nobody likes Seymour, as I like to say. I actually said that at a session once. There's a person named Seymour who got very upset at me. What I'm actually saying is very, very few people are going to click the Seymour button over here to see the rest of this. So the most important stuff needs to be on top because only people who are really, really, really interested in you are going to read the rest of this stuff. But it is important to put stuff there because it is searchable. It does show up in searches people are doing for professionals, and recruiter searches will also show up there. So that's a great opportunity to put some other things in there as well. I also have my contact information over here just to make it easier for people to contact me if they want to without having to pay for what's called an in-mail, which is where you would actually have to pay LinkedIn in order to be able to send me a connection request. So, or a message in that matter. So that's a great way of doing that. And the way you edit that is also a little pencil right over here. Click on my pencil and then I can go in here and make those changes. Again, just play around with it to make sure that your best stuff is really on the top there because chances of people going below that is pretty small usually. Okay, other questions?
We do have a question about the featured section. Can we put our personal website or portfolio in the featured section?
You should be able to, if it's optimized, you should be able to add a link to your website. Now, it might be a better idea to put that up over here under your website where I booked the LinkedIn workshops over here. But yes, you definitely put it up there, which is what I advise people do is when you put it up, see what preview comes up. Because sometimes some websites and personal websites, the preview might not be optimized and it might show some scattered things. But yes, I do think that is a great way to promote yourself by adding the link here. So just add the link. And then if you add the link to the file or video, and it should do it for websites as well, I believe, and be able to add it in there. Does that make sense? Okay, good. Great question. And I'm going to keep moving down here to work experience, which is a very important part and probably where I see the most mistakes that people make in all of LinkedIn. Okay, so you see here, I've been at Touro University for a very long period of time, thank God. But a couple of things you need to know here. If you want to add a new job, you just click the plus button, and then you can add a position. If I click on the pencil, I can actually edit this. So there's a couple of things I want to show you here in the edit mode. Now I'm going to edit the Touro here specifically. First of all, I have this set to off. I do not want my network notified every single time I make a small little change to LinkedIn. So I have this set to off. If I were to change jobs and go somewhere else, I would put that on so people know. But the problem is if you make small changes to your profile, it has LinkedIn has a tendency to send that out as a message. Hi, I've got a new job, which is not the case. So I usually recommend this be set to off unless you're making a major change in your career. Okay. Next thing here is you want to make sure that you're actually syncing your employment to your employer. So you see here, there's a little Touro University logo right over here. Look what happens if I get rid of that Y. See how that disappeared? We got to make sure that I actually see where it says Touro University. Click on that so it actually syncs it and click save. That way it'll make sure that the logo shows up and that you'll show up amongst employees working at that particular place. That's a very, very important thing to do as well. In addition here, you'll see that I have bullets right off of my resume that I just cut and paste right on here. I don't like this on LinkedIn. I think LinkedIn should make it a lot easier to include bullets. You'd see here, if I go out of this, it doesn't fit here perfectly because it's not optimized for that. But I still do think it makes sense to post those bullets in there just so people can see what it is that you did. And again, big blocks of text tend not to work well on social media. So I do think bullets separate things better than the other option of putting big blocks of text. Now, the other thing that's important is if you had multiple positions at the same employer, like I have here at Touro, you see here how we have this line at the end that shows this continuation at the same employer. Here's the trick for that. You see here that I ended this position as assistant director July 2016, and this next position started July 2016. When you do that, it automatically shows the continuity between those positions. It could be a month off. It could be July then to August. But if it's more than another month off, then what it's going to do is it's going to separate these out into two positions and not show that you actually have that continuation from one position to another, which is really a good thing to have there on LinkedIn. And another thing I just want to show you here that I do my social media consulting on the side. Now, for most folks, their main job is what they want to have up there, but nowadays a lot of people do side hustles. So if you have a side hustle that you want to promote first, go to reorder. And as long as it's a current position, you can move that to the top. I click out of that. You see it moved it up here, but also up here at the top of my profile, it changed that to my consulting business here first. So if you have a side hustle and your side hustle becomes your main hustle, all you need to do if it's a current position is reorder that. That will reorder it in a way that puts it first. And that's what people are much more likely to see. You have to always the idea that the further down you go on a profile, the less likely someone is to read it. Now, people often ask me how many positions they should have up here, how far back they should go. You see here, I have positions from a very, very, very long time ago when I was hauling furniture and working a register in a thrift store in Chicago back in the day. And to me, look, this was a positive experience. It shows I was willing to do things. I wish I was still currently able to haul furniture, which I'm not physically capable of doing anymore, but I think as long as it's a positive thing, I think there's no reason not to include that. And we're going to get to these skills that I have here listed for each of these positions. We're going to get to how to add that in just a few moments. Any other questions about your work experience, how to add it, how to sync it, how to make sure you have the continuity, how to have multiple positions? You guys have been quiet so far, so I want to try and get you guys in here.
We've had a few questions in the chat, but they're kind of about resumes and employers. So asking whether or not they should put their LinkedIn link on their resume.
Okay, so I can answer that question. I do think if you have when you have a professional LinkedIn profile, then 100% you can put it on your resume. Yes, but you want to use that professional URL. That's why one of the reasons the professional URL that we talked about up here is so important, because you don't want to put in LinkedIn .in/CHAI 6783B72 SHA 321. You want to have one that's professional, and that will give you your professional one. And then absolutely, once it's professional, I definitely recommend including it in your resume, because I will say, by the way, most people in most places are going to be checking your LinkedIn profile anyway.
We do have a question. How do you add an experience section on your profile?
So any section that's not currently on your profile, if you go to add profile section, you should be able to add position, and that will add it. I already have work experience there. So that's where you find any of these things. So there's the core, there's recommended.
No, I'm gonna go to the driving class right now.
Looks like, is that somebody asking a question, or is that?
Yeah, I already took 2 lessons.
I
right?
think somebody needs to mute their
Okay, someone needs
microphone.
to, I'm sorry, I thought that was a question. I apologize.
No.
Okay, but that's where you're able to add any section. I usually show that at the end. That's where you'll be able to add those sections. Okay, next thing I want to show you here is the education section. And this is where you're able to put that you're going to University of Texas Arlington. Same thing here. You can add new education over here. What you want to make sure that you do is that you sync it to your current university. So you see what happens if I get rid of the E in Riverside, that disappears. It also means I do not show up in alumni searches. Always make sure to sync that with the appropriate and correct college and click save. Again, have this off because there's no reason to send people updates for these kinds of things. Here's an interesting thing. I don't know if we have anybody here. I had somebody who was a hockey fan before. Anybody here a college basketball fan? Because about 5 years ago, my Loyola Ramblers made it to the Final Four. And one of the things I did, because during the time they were making their run, they were all over the news, is I went, even though University of California, Riverside is more recent, I went and flipped these. I put Loyola University first. I put it first there. Also at the top of my profile, Loyola University showed up first, which is a great conversation piece for folks who are very interested in basketball at the time. Unfortunately, when they didn't win, I simply went back in here and then reordered it to make the most recent first, which is generally the way that you want to do it. So any questions about that, or any questions about education? Education is pretty straightforward. I don't know if anybody here has license and certifications, but you can also add those. These are my license and certifications. Same exact deal. Make sure to sync it so that you have the certifying agency and their actual logo show up over there so people can do searches for those things. Now, the next thing that I want to show you is very, very important, is your skills section here on LinkedIn. Skills are very important because they're highly searchable. So people who are looking for an aerospace engineer who has certain skills will be able to search whether you list these skills. So it's very important to make sure that you're listing the right skills. Now you can list up to 50 skills. And what I usually recommend is you have your top 3 skills here at the top. You see these 3 are shown up here. This is another Seymour. Very, very few people are looking to see all 46 of those skills. So I want to make sure that I have the top 3 at the top. Top 3 could be because they're most important to my users, but also the fact that I was endorsed by Lindsay Pollock, who's a famous speaker here, helps sell me in terms of the fact that I have this particular skill. Now, if you want to change those, you go to the little pencil right over here, change the order. And this is a little confusing because it's not the same little button. If I go here and click reorder, what I can do is move down. Let's say I want to move resume writing up into the top 3. Just need to flip that, and this should change around me as soon as I refresh the page. There it goes. And resume writing is now one of the top 3. If you want to add skills, just click the plus button, and that gives you the opportunity to start filling things in or give the ones that it wants. But you definitely want to find things that are very relevant to your particular profession. Now, the old hack that I gave you last year, I don't know if anybody was here at the speech last year, where you go into, let's say, Deloitte, and you look up some of the skills that the people list, doesn't quite work the way that it used to. I'll show you why, because they actually limited the number of skills that they show here. And most of these are very, very generic. So it doesn't really give you the kinds of skills that you want to put on your profile. But there is one other workaround that just launched about 2 or 3 days ago, and I just got access to this. Now, it is a premium feature, but I'm going to talk about how to get around that. If I go to who's viewed my profile, you will see here, if I go to key skill suggestions, it actually gives me suggestions. For example, aerospace engineer, that I can simply pop right into my profile or see other ones that I want to add over here that are relevant. I'm assuming LinkedIn is correct in associating these with particular professions based on job descriptions, and you can simply change this. So if it wasn't aerospace engineer, I want to put it in finance, I could do that, finance manager, and the skills will change, and I can add those as well. Now, the problem is this is a premium feature, so you can't do this if you don't have a premium account. But what you can do is you could ask somebody who has a premium account, if somebody in career services does, or somebody you know, just do the search for you. You just need to copy this once, and it's not going to be changing much. Plus, option number 2 is if you don't have a premium account, usually LinkedIn offers the ability to have a premium account free for 1 month. So if you sign up for your 1 month premium account and then search for key skills, then you should be able to add those to your profile. Just make sure that you cancel your premium account before they charge you for the first month, because it can be nearly impossible to try and get that money back at the other end of it. So that's one of the ways to do it. I think this is a great thing that people should be doing more often, because really it does give you the opportunity to see the skills that are most important for your particular profession. Again, you want to reorder them in terms of making sure they show up in the appropriate place. Now, remember before I showed you, let's show it here, that under each of these jobs, I have a certain list of skills over here. Now, you can add these over here under the job, but the easier way to do it is by the skill. I go to the little pencil right over here, and I go to LinkedIn, and you'll see here it allows me to click and add all the positions where I've utilized this particular skill, and then that'll add that to that particular job experience. So it's not just having the work experience up there, it's having the work experience and showing which particular skills you've utilized effectively in that particular work experience. So I definitely recommend that if you can, go through here, and after you add those skills, to make sure that you're putting that skills and associating them and clicking them with the positions in which you utilize those skills. Okay, any questions about skills, or how to find skills and key skills and how to move things around here? Okay, that was just a drink break then. So we'll keep moving on. By the way, demonstrate skills is another opportunity here. So there are skills assessments. I'm going to skip this for now. There are skill assessments you can take, but most of these skill assessments are very tech heavy. So you can go in here and take a skill assessment, and if you pass the skill assessment, it actually shows up on your profile as having passed that, and that's a great way to sell yourself if you're looking for SQL or some other thing, Microsoft Excel. So that's a great way of showing that you have that particular expertise. I usually advise people, don't worry so much about these skill recommendations. People can recommend your skills. But if you're going to recommend somebody else's skill, I always say to make sure that you actually stand behind that endorsement. I would never put down a skill here that recommending somebody unless I actually stand behind it. So if somebody's that I give a skill recommendation to, if you called me up and asked me why I give them a recommendation to a particular person, I can answer that question specifically about that person, because I always want to stand behind what it is that I say. Okay. Now, much more important than the skills are recommendations, because recommendations give give people the opportunity to write more of a narrative about you. And I think it's really something that sells you much better to employers. And I also believe if you get between 3 and 5 recommendations, you get boosted up on the LinkedIn rankings when people are doing searches. I can't prove that, but I do believe that to be accurate. So you see here, Chloe gave me a very nice recommendation where she was able to actually say something about me and describe things in a way that a LinkedIn endorsement and a skill never can. Now, if you want to request a recommendation from somebody, click the pencil button. Actually, it's the plus button, I believe. Ask for recommendation. I go on here, I'm going to start typing in a name. It has to be somebody you're connected to. So, whoops. Choose any one of these. I'm not going to actually send it. Click the continue button, and you can choose how you know them and the position at the time. This is the part that I want to show you here. Always change this. Give a very specific reason as to why you want this person to give you a recommendation and as to what. If I came up to Nicole afterwards and asked her for a recommendation, it would be about having given this workshop and something about that, and then send it to the person, and then the person has the ability to either give it or not give it depending on their particular decision. Now, you see here, one of the questions I get frequently is, what if somebody writes something negative and I don't want to have that on my profile? Good news is nobody can post anything on your profile without your permission. So if I go to show all pending here, you will see a little ways down here, this person wanted me to add this to my profile. Perfect Liars for free. And he's saying that I'm a wonderful, perfect gentleman. It was a troll trying to get me to put something on my profile that'll be negative to me. Obviously, he cannot add that to my profile, and I keep it here just as an example so that when I do this kind of presentation, I can show people that nobody can actually add that to your presentation. Now, to your profile, what you can do actually is ask somebody to make some changes to the recommendations that they gave you. But again, you cannot actually make changes for somebody. The person needs to actually make the changes themselves. So if I want to go over here and send Chloe a message saying, hey, Chloe, would you mind changing a couple small features? I want to focus a little bit more on this, that, and the other thing. Then she has the choice to make the changes if she wants to or not. She doesn't have to. Once she makes the changes, once again, she cannot add those changes to my profile until I actually approve it, and then it'll actually go up. And one of the things I don't like about this, anyone see what's missing here? What do we have here under a whole bunch of other things? You guys remember the reorder button? We're able to change the order of things. This doesn't have a reorder button, and it should, because I should be able to highlight the most important recommendations. This goes in chronological order. But for example, if one is no longer relevant to me, I can just turn it off and it won't show up on my profile. But I would like to see LinkedIn change this and make sure that when people send me when people send recommendations, I'm able to order them the way that I want to. Okay. So talk about a couple other things you could add to your profile, publications, if you have any, projects, honors and awards, organizations. All these things are under add profile section. You go up over here, you can add any of these things depending on which things are relevant to you. They're under either core or recommended or additional. It's a couple of things here. Anyone have a patent here? I actually once had a client at a session that actually had a patent, which was really cool, but they added it. But you want to promote things that actually are impressive. You know, the fact that you want an award in your dorm or in your residence hall is probably not the kind of thing you want to put there, as opposed to academic kinds of awards. Test scores are usually not, you know, what you did on your biology midterm. It'd be more along the lines of something you did on a CPA exam or actuarial exam and things like that. But I definitely think it's important to put more information on your profile to give people a lot better of an idea of who you are and what you're able to bring to the table. But again, I think fundamentally the idea is the higher up things are on your profile, the more important it is, because these are the things that people are going to make the assessment on. And anything below that is always secondary. So always have the best stuff up here at the top. And for each section, top thing here, for my job, first thing that I want to make sure here and all the way through, skills, all those things as well. And little annoying thing is they don't let you actually change these in terms of reorder this as well, which is annoying. So any questions about anything that we talked about on the profile before I go into the job search feature?
We have a couple of questions.
Great.
One is about projects. I think I just saw where they can add projects. So asking, should I include projects with the skills because there is no logo? I think he's talking about like just where's the best place to put projects?
Yeah, so depending on the project that's under additional, you can add projects and it'll add a project section. I think I have a project section. So you'll see here, but you can add them to both. I think I have a projects. Do I have projects here? Publications, projects, yes. So it's something that I gave at a conference. So I actually have that project down there. But yes, you can add a project up over here as well. Just because I have this, for example, this session over here, a presentation that I gave, I also have that listed under here. One of these over here is that actual presentation as well that I included under my work experience. So it doesn't hurt to have multiple things in different areas as long as it doesn't start to get repetitive. Other questions?
There is another question. I'm not quite sure I understand the question. So Venkata, you might need to help clarify, but it says, let's say he is struck in the same skill for more than 5 years. How best can we show that in your profile?
So I'm not sure what he means by stuck in the same skill.
And he said struck in the same skill. I'm not sure
Maybe
either.
they can clarify. I mean, I think the idea is to make sure that you have your top 3 skills up over here. And if you have other skills you want to add, you can always add them. But if I'm understanding the question, let's say I become more of an expert at something a little bit later, that's how I'll interpret the question. And something a little bit further down my profile is much more important for me right now. I could always go all the way down over here and say this one on Twitter is very important to me now and move it up to the top 3. I don't know if that answers the question. The person wants to unmute themselves and ask the question specifically, we can do that as well. But the top 3 should be your 3 most important as decided by what you're selling yourself on and also potentially who's endorsing you.
We did get another question
Great.
for certifications. Should we add certifications obtained from LinkedIn Learning?
So some people do that. I think it doesn't particularly hurt. I don't know that certifications from LinkedIn Learning are that important because a lot of times they just give it to you as a completion award. It just shows that you completed the LinkedIn session. But again, if it's something positive, I don't see how it hurts. I wouldn't rely on it as something being an incredible thing because again, and you can unmute your mic. Most of the time they give you one just for completing the session. And that really, it's like a micro badge. It's a badge for completing a session, which isn't bad, but it isn't necessarily the best thing to be adding under certifications. Certifications and licenses, I want it to be a coaching certification, a board certified coach kind of thing, if you have that kind of thing, as opposed to something which is that I just completed a particular coursework. Other questions? This is great.
Can we add certifications in the headline?
You can definitely add your certifications in your headline. You'll see here that I do have the fact that I am a board certified coach right here in my headline. So, and the reason is because that's something that sells me really, really well, because I want to make sure that people see that. But if they're looking for verification of that, when I'm looking very closely at my profile, they can actually see my certification, when it was issued, who was issued by, and when it expires. So yes, absolutely can do that. And yeah, if that's what sells you well, 100%, I would actually say that you should do that. Other questions?
How long should the ideal about section be?
So the about section can be as long as you like it to be. I mean, I've seen a lot of people put a lot of information here. Now, again, most people aren't going to read this entire thing. So it's mostly about showing up in searches and making sure people find information that's important about you when they're doing searches. I would say maximize this top part because that's the part most people are going to see. Yeah, but you can use this for as much information as you like. As long as it promotes you positively, it will show up in search rankings. And people who are using Recruiter will be able to see it and potentially find you based on it. But again, I don't count on much of anybody reading below this line over here because very few people like to see more.
One last question.
Yes, please.
I don't have the reorder option in experience section. Is it okay to remove part-time experience and highlight the important experiences related to your career?
So it probably happened with if you don't have the reorder, it probably happens. It means that the job that you have is a previous job. You can only actually reorder it if it's something you're currently working in. The reason I can reorder this is because it's to the present. So for example, I couldn't go down here and choose this one and put it to the top. So if you have something more recent, it should automatically default to the top. If it doesn't, then you might be doing it incorrectly. But if you have a job, for example, 2 or 3 jobs in the past, and you want to make sure that you're highlighting the one that's more important, yeah, I would say get rid of the one that's less important. In other words, if I wanted to make sure that I have this job shown on my profile and I don't want to show this one, I would get rid of this one and just add that one because they're both from previous times, so I'm not able to reorder them. You can only reorder them if they're both current positions. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, great. Any other questions or should we get into the jobs? We have a couple minutes here, so I want to get into
Yeah.
the job feature here.
I
And
think
again,
that the next question is about jobs, so we'll just skip that one for now
Okay.
because you might answer it. And then what are the things that are important if you are applying for internships? And we'll just go ahead and move on from that one as well and
Great.
get into the job search features.
Yes, actually, I'm going to show you when it goes to applying to
Mhm.
jobs specifically. So I'm going to click on the jobs tab, and you'll see here that's right up over here that actually did a search here for aerospace in Dallas. So if I go in right over here and I click aerospace in Dallas, you'll see here this gives me a good list of potential positions in that area that meet those criteria. Now, here are a couple of important things here. You can actually set up an alert so that anything that matches aerospace in Dallas, Texas shows up, and you don't have to check this on a regular basis. It'll send you an email either daily or weekly with that information, so you can go right in there and apply based on that. You can always change this. It doesn't have to be aerospace. Obviously, it could be whatever particular account manager, accounting, whatever it happens to be, that's relevant particularly to you. Now, here, take a look at this. And I think this is where this gets really important and why LinkedIn job searches is much better than some of the other job boards that are out there. Now, let's say I want to apply to this account manager position. See this right over here? I have 2 connections that actually work in that particular company, which gives me the opportunity before I apply to go, hey, let's see who works there. And I could send Sean a message here saying, hey, Sean, I'm applying for the USI Insurance Services position. Can you give me some tips or some ideas of what I can do in order to move myself up in terms of how it's viewed or what I need to do to get past some of the gatekeepers, things like that. Plus, school alumni show up here as well. So you can actually see people, if you're not connected to them, who went to UTA, for example, and that could be an opportunity to get yourself in there as well and make sure that you're getting as much advantage as you can in terms of connecting to those places as you can. Now, let me see if I can find one. I don't know. I didn't try this before, but there are some that actually tell you the person who's actually posting the job. I don't know if I have any here that are like that. And if not, but the idea is it actually says who posted the job. It'll show you the name of the person who posted the job. And it'll actually ask you to send an in message, a paid message to that person. No need to do that. Click on the person's profile and send them a connection request, or find out what they're posting about and then send them a connection request that way after you start posting on what they're posting on a regular basis. So I do think it's an important idea to engage people before you start sending them any kinds of connection requests or any kinds of outreach for asking for something. It's like any cold email. When you're sending a cold email, what are the chances someone's going to respond to it? When you're actually actively engaged and the person knows you, they are much more likely to respond to it. By the way, you can set up multiple job alerts in experience level, internship, entry level, job type, on-site, remote, all sorts of things here in order to get that. Plus, if you find a position and you're on your cell phone, you want to get back to it later, you just click the save button. That saved it. And let me just show you, because it's a little complicated to get back to that. You can go back to view profile. You want to go into right over here, show all 5 resources. Under my items, that job will be there. You can go back to it and simply apply to it at a later time. Or for me, I'm going to unsave it because it's not a job that I'm actually looking to apply for. Any questions here about jobs? How to search for them, how to apply for them. Apply button is right over here. Sometimes it takes you to their actual website. Some of them have easy apply, which allow you to apply directly on LinkedIn and give you the opportunity to include your resume as well. I do recommend that if it does have easy apply, include your resume as well. Just make it easier for people as opposed to making it more difficult. But you can set it up and set those alerts so you don't have to check this on a daily basis. You can check it on a weekly or whenever you get the emails to make sure that you're not missing any of those particular opportunities when they come in. Any questions about jobs?
It's not about jobs, but how personalized should a LinkedIn profile page be in terms of work pictures, personal achievements, etc.?
Great question. So I think everything that's professional is definitely fair game when it comes to LinkedIn. I think the question you always have to ask yourself is, does this sell me as a professional? Will posting this help me in terms of my brand? Will this help me in terms of selling myself for whatever position I'm looking for? So I tend to be of the belief that you don't want to put too many personal things. You know, the fact that you went to a party the other night is usually not relevant, but anything professional can be included. And every once in a while, I'll put something about my family on there just to keep it real so people get an idea of who I am as a person. That's, I think, more of an advanced user kind of thing. You don't want to be clogging up your profile with things that are not relevant to you professionally. But I usually like to do a 90-10, 80-20 kind of ratio, 90-10 in terms of professional to personal things. And I wouldn't get too personal. Again, things that promote you professionally because of an accomplishment of your family or something like that, other kinds of things. I think I put on here a couple months ago when my wife and I had our 25th anniversary of our engagement. So I had that up there because I think that helps promote who I am and how I try to present myself. But things of, you know, my daughter had a Super Bowl party. I don't think I put that up there. So those kinds of things. Does that answer the question? Other questions about the profile? And if not, I want to show you a quick thing about how to start engaging, because that was the question about engaging folks who could potentially hire you. And that's an important thing to do. That's up here in the search tab right over here. And if I go into aerospace, and whoops, I don't want to under jobs. I want to put this to posts. Okay, good. So this is going to show me posts that people have made with those particular terms. Now, in your particular profession, it could actually take a little bit of time to get it exactly right and get the right terms that are showing the people and the terminology that is being used by people that are most relevant to your particular profession. But just to show you what you're supposed to do here, if I had something that I could add to Debbie's post here, go to the bottom, click comment, always click the at button, and then tag Debbie, and then say whatever it is you're going to say over here about, so add something significant. The reason you do that is when you do that, the person that you tag will always get a message that you tagged them in the post. And if they look at it, then they'll see it. And that's the way to start building that relationship. So for example, if I had a particular person I was looking for a job from, I'd be looking at what they're posting, not just by subject, but by the person. And when they post on something that I can add something to and contribute, I would tag them and start commenting on that, because that gives me the opportunity to start building that relationship with them. To show you somebody who did this right a little bit earlier today. So here's a person who actually tagged me on a post that he made today about LinkedIn. He mentioned me specifically, that made sure that I saw it, and you'll see here that I actually commented on it and tagged him back, which is a great way to make sure you're building relationships with people, because they see it, you see it, all these other people see it. And that is the point at which, if I had some time, and I spoke to Moshe a number of times, but I'm getting much closer to the point where I'm actually able to go in there and say, hey, Moshe, would you mind introducing me to so-and-so, or I saw that you have a particular position that's available. Can you particularly, would you be interested in talking to me about my resume and things like that? So I think the idea is to always build yourself a connection with somebody and make cold leads into warm leads in order to turn them into people who are more receptive to what it is that you're saying. Does that make sense? I can show you a couple more things. I want to make sure that any last minute questions. We have about 5 minutes left. I usually like to save the last 5 minutes for questions about anything we talked about. I know that a couple of you did send me connection requests here. I do see that.
We do have a
So,
question.
yes.
When messaging an employer for a job, how should I approach them? Is there an acceptable format one should follow?
Yeah, so I think generally, if you're approaching somebody who's posted the job, they're expecting for people to reach out to them. Obviously, if you can build that relationship out and have a connection with them first, that makes sense. But anybody who's actually the hiring manager for a job is expecting people to send them a message saying, "Hi, my name is, I'm a student at UTA studying full stack development, and I would be very interested in discussing the software development position with you." Keep it professional. And one of the things that's very, very important, not to call anybody out, but you always want to personalize your connection requests. Make sure that when you send a connection request to anybody, you say, "Hi, Chaim, it was great coming to your LinkedIn session for UTA today. Can we please connect?" The reason that's so important is it makes people much more likely to accept it, number one. And number two, that actually syncs to your messages. So you'll actually be able to see further later on, if you want to go back, you'd actually see that actual correspondence you have with somebody, even potentially months or years later. And that gives you a great way to make sure that you have the context around somebody when you're connecting or talking to them, even months or years later. Does that make sense? Other questions?
Let's see. Can you suggest this? This isn't about LinkedIn. So I think that Sagar, you can come to the Career Development Center to get an answer to this question, but can you
By the way,
suggest
that's the right device for everything.
Yeah, for the rendering of our resume according to the ATS format, and that is something that you can come to the Career Development Center for to get your resume assistance. So feel free to reach out to us after the session is over, and we would be happy to help you with that.
Yeah, as I always say, go to Career Services, go directly to Career Services, do not pass go, and you'll get a lot more than $200. So when you get the job, that is, I should say, just to make sure that's clarified. Any other questions? We have about 3 minutes. A couple more things I can actually show you guys if you'd like, if there aren't any more questions. Any other questions? So one of the things I would check on a regular basis here is who's viewed your profile. Now, if you don't have a premium account, this is going to default usually to the last 5 people who viewed your profile. And you can see the folks down over here. These are some of the folks that came to the session today. This is perfect. I can accept and I will accept this later. Now, if I was sending, did I pronounce that correctly? Instead of clicking the connect button, what I'm going to actually do here is I'm going to go in here, click connect here, and then add a note thanking him for coming to my session today and asking him if there's any more information I can provide, and then click that, because next time he and I converse here on LinkedIn, we'll have that as the context for the conversation. But I definitely think that anybody who looks at your profile is a buy signal because it showed interest in you. So it's important to follow up with those folks. So I will be accepting the folks over here that already sent me those, but also the ones that didn't. I'm going to make sure to go in over here and send them connection requests if they don't send them to me, to make sure that the messages are in there. And look at this. She actually sent me a message. And you see here, there we go. You see how that syncs to the message? This is perfect, because now I know next time I talk to her that I'll be able to know, oh yeah, she went to my UTA workshop. Perfect. Exactly the way that you want to do it. Exactly right. So we got about a minute left. Are there any other questions anybody else wants to ask?
It's a good time to unmute your microphone. If you have a question, you can probably do that faster than typing.
Yeah. Love to hear your voices. If any of the last minute questions I can answer. But if not, I want to thank you so much for the opportunity. This is my third presentation. Oh, go ahead. Yes.
There is one question. Is there
Okay,
any way to customize my LinkedIn feed with relevant job roles I am looking for?
So I would actually go into jobs, and when you start doing the searches, and set up those alerts, usually it starts tailoring your feed for things that are more relevant to you. So the more you play around with this, the more relevant it will be. But good, it's based on an algorithm, so it's never going to be perfect. So you always want to go in there and search, yeah. But the more you put in there and the more information you put in there, experience level, company, job type, on-site, remote, the better the feed tends to get based on what their algorithm says.
Perfect.
But it is still an algorithm, and algorithms are worth, whoever programmed it. Okay, well, thank you so much for the opportunity. It was so wonderful to be back. It's my third time here at UTA, and it's really been a great crowd, and I really enjoyed your questions. If you have any other questions you'd like to ask me, please feel free to reach out to me on LinkedIn. I'll be glad to answer those questions for you if I can. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Thank you so much. And as a reminder, this session has been recorded, so please feel free to reach out to us after the session is over, and we will make that presentation available to you. Everybody give Chaim a round of applause. And we appreciate your time today. And don't forget, we have a job fair on March 1st, and we hope to see you there.
Oh, great.
We got a lot of thank
I
yous coming in the chat.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. The Turo Career Fair is on March 2nd, so I know exactly what you're going through over there.